Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Justin, aka YB Justin, and today I'm back with another banger video. Without further ado, I'm here with the intro. So today's video, as you can see by the title and the do-rag on my head, you can see that this is a story time about how my barber messed me up. And that's a lot of people's like worst nightmare. They're afraid to have their hair messed up and all that, and just have a bad cut in general, just have your hair, messed up. So I'm not gonna talk for too long. Like, comment, subscribe, and without further ado, I'm gonna just get into the video. So this whole story time started off in So this whole thing was actually not that long ago, like less than a week ago, when I got the cut. So we're gonna start off from let's say about a month ago. So about a month ago, we were deep into quarantine, and me and my brother were looking for haircuts, right? And that was at the time no place was open. Like, I'm telling you, you could not find one open barbershop, and if you did, it was either really expensive or they were just closed. So either you was gonna pay like $60-$70 for a haircut, or you just wasn't gonna get your haircut. So me and my brother were calling around, calling different places, right? And we were talking to like family, talking to friends, and we found one barber because he was cutting our cousin's hair, and our cousin knew a barber. So we was like, okay, can we just come over to your house while whoever's getting a haircut there, we could just slide too? So they was like, all right, bet. And me and my brother drive there, and mind you, that's on the other side of town. So we drove all the way, not town, other side of the city. We drove all the way to the other side of the city. We live on the west side. That was in North Philly. So we drove from north to west, which was like not that long-ish. But it wasn't, I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't a fast ride, but it was like, you feel me? So when we finally got to our cousin's house, the barber was not there. I was just guessing, all right, we got there a little bit early, right? So we waiting, and we waiting, and we waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting.
2,000 years later.
And we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. Until we finally get a call. And it was a barber. He said, I forgot my clippers and my stuff, so I'm gonna go back and go get that. How are you gonna cut somebody's hair without having your clippers? Like, you feel me? That's whole backwards. So he went to go get his clippers, and he said he had to go cut somebody else's hair before us. So I was like, okay, get that done so we can get ours done. So then he calls again, like a couple, like 40 minutes later, 40 minutes to an hour later, and he's like, all right, I can't make it. Can y'all reschedule like a different time, like 8 o'clock?
Oh, come on,
and mind
man.
you, I was out since 7 a.m. So I wanted to get home. I wasn't at home for a good, do the math, for a good period of time. So I just wanted to go home. I was not waiting until 8 o'clock to get a haircut. Plus it was like 2-3 other people who need to get their haircut too. So I was not going to wait. So my brother just talked to the barber, and he was like, all right, we just going to go to a different time. We just going to schedule a different time, a different day, just for me and my brother. So my brother-in-law, by the way, my brother-in-law. But so not even the next day, like a couple, like 1 or 2 days go by, and I wake up at like 8 a.m. getting a call from my brother like, bro, you ready to go? I'm just sitting there confused, like, where am I going? You feel me? Because plus I just woke up. I don't know where I'm going. Like, I was like, what you mean? He was like, we about to go get our cuts. I was like, all right, I'm putting my shoes on now. And he was like, I just said that because I haven't had a cut in months, like months. So I was just like, all right, I'm putting my shoes on now. So I brushed my teeth and all that, got dressed, and yeah, I met him outside. So he picks me up to take me to to our grandma's house. So, because that's where we was meeting to get the cut, right? The barber was like, we're going to be here. No, my brother said we're going to be here. And the barber had to get picked up by my brother. So my brother dropped me off at my grandma's house. And then my brother went to go pick up the barber to bring the barber to my grandma's house so he could cut both of our hair, right? So, and mind you, I had this exact do-rag on because I didn't do nothing to my hair. Usually, if you see it, you saw before, it's like, I put some like stuff in it so it's not like flat when I wake up. So I didn't do that. I just wore the do-rag. I brought my stuff with me. I took it to my grandma's house so I could just do it there. So I did it there, and then my brother is on his way back home. No, not home, to my grandma's house with the barber. So I get my stuff ready or whatnot, my hair or whatever, and I get my cut first, right? So I'm sitting in the chair. It's like a normal cut. We set everything up, plug in all the stuff, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, it's about to be the best cut of my life. I had cut in like months. I was just hyped. I'm like, you be looking fresh again. Oh my gosh, I was hyped. You feel me? Cause I ain't had a cut in months, like months. My fade was starting to turn into my regular hair. That's how long it had been. So I'm sitting in a chair, and he turned on the clippers, right? It's normal, like a normal haircut. And I hear, I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
like, heavy-handed. That's all I can say. He is heavy-handed. Mayweather's cousin, but he must be related to some boxer, because I'm telling you, he is heavy. He's stronger than when you try and take your girl's phone away from her. That's how heavy-handed he was. So he's just like, zoom, 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 and I just sit there like, cause I needed a cut. You feel me? It's been months, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna deal with the pain for now, and I'm gonna just wait until my regular barbershop opens back up. So I'm sitting there getting a cut, and I'm telling you, it hurts. Like, it's like zoom, zoom, like, oh my gosh, you couldn't he was like digging into my skin, my skull, my cranium, like, oh my gosh. And I just had to sit there because, like I said before, no barbershops are open. They were all like, and the ones that were like 60 and above. And my cuts was like 25, around that. So it was like, and his was like cheap, pretty cheap. I forgot the exact price, but it was pretty cheap, around 25. So I was like, hey, why not? And then I'll just see if my regular barbershop is open in 2 weeks, because I get my haircut every 2 weeks, right? So I get finished with my cut, and you know how like they got that little alcohol stuff? He didn't have no like tissue or nothing. He had this like this brush. I'm gonna put a picture of it right there, like this little brush type thing, and he shroom with the alcohol on it. Mind you, I had cuts from his heavy-handedness. I had cuts. So he was like, shroom, brushing the cut, brushing the cut, brushing the cut. I was like, you know, like, it hurt. And mind you, look, I don't know if y'all can see this, but right here, like my neck bone, like if I do like that, you could feel my neck bone. Imagine getting cut like that on your neck bone, especially because you can feel my bone. Like I'm pressing right here, I feel my neck bone, my vertebrae or whatever it's called. So mind you, imagine that getting cut. So I finished getting my cut, my brother get his cut, and all around it was a nice cut. It was like actually really nice.
That's pretty good.
It hurt. It was a nice cut. So I was like, all right, well, if it really comes down to it and I need a cut, then I'll just hit him up, right? So it's like 2 weeks later, and I get a cut from this other dude because my other cousin had found a better barber. So I get a cut from that dude, from a different person, and it doesn't hurt at all, and it looks really nice. So it's nice. I was like, all right, so next time we not going to the heavy hand dude, we going to this dude. So my brother was like, all right, he saved both of the numbers in his phone. So like I would say 2 weeks after the new barber, right? Because I get my cut every 2 weeks, like I said before. 2 weeks after that, he calls the barber because I needed a cut. Like I was wolfing like crazy, and I needed a cut. So he calls the barber, right? And the new barber has his own car. He drove to my grandma's house where we both was getting our cut. Unlike the first barber where he had to get picked up. So my brother called him and he was like, so are you gonna pick me up? And my brother didn't think that was somebody different. He just said, all right, I'm gonna come pick you up. Until he tried to pick up the barber and he realized that it was not the same person. He picked up the heavy-handed dude.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
So like, yeah, he picked up the heavy-handed dude, and we couldn't say no, we don't want you as our barber because we already even picked you up from wherever you going. So it was like, that's a waste of our time, our gas, and your time, and I need a cut. So we was like, all right, we just gonna go to the heavy-handed dude, and it's the last time. So my brother goes first. He gets like a high fade, like to right here. I'm gonna say he gets a high fade. So the barber does his fade or whatever, and it takes a while, like a good 45 minutes. I feel like my brother-in-law got a sensitive head, and he had to keep taking breaks. But it took a good 45 minutes just for him. And he is a fat, well, that makes sense. He got a huge ass head. But it finally gets to my turn, and I get my cut. And I started to notice, like, anybody who's ever gotten a haircut, they have hair, they can realize that you feel where you can get cut at, and you know that there's a specific outline on your head to where you got cut at. Like, when you grow, like, when you have a fade and it grows out a little bit, you can still see the difference between a fresh new one and what it's supposed to look like, you feel me? So he starts cutting like up to here, and I usually get like the side and the neck faded. So I was like, okay, he's just going for a little higher fade. That's cool. So I keep getting a cut, and I feel ripped, like my hair is being ripped out of my scalp, and I'm not even joking. The clippers, I feel ripped, and I'm like, I'm just confused. I feel like he about to give me my brother haircut.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
So I'm just sitting. I literally, like, I prayed to God that was not what he was doing, cause I genuinely don't like my hair like any other type ways. You feel me? So I was just like, I was praying to God that he didn't mess up my hair. So he's cutting it and being heavy-handed as usual. So he keeps cutting it, right? So I feel like my hair just going. And I noticed more hair than usual falling because it's not usually the same cut. I was like, since when did chunks of my hair ever come up when I got a haircut? Because mind you, I only got the sides and the neck faded. So it was like, since when would there be chunks of hair? My hair did not grow that fast. So I was just like, oh my gosh. And then he finally got finished with the cut, and he was busting it down, and it hurt. Like, it hurt really bad, and I didn't take no breaks at all because I was like, I'm not about to break and then get hurt again and then break and get hurt again. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just go through the one, sit in and just, you feel me? So then I run upstairs as soon as the cut is done. I run upstairs, act like I had to use the bathroom, and I go into the bathroom, and I turn on the light, and I close my eyes in front of the mirror because I just prayed to God that he didn't mess up my haircut. So I turn on the light, and I look in the mirror, and I almost had an anxiety attack. I'm not even capping in the slightest. I almost had an anxiety attack because that was not what I kind of did say the sides and the back, but you know what? If you already see what it looks like, why change it? You feel me? Unless I say, hey, I'm gonna try this. Unless he said fade the sides and the neck, I was like, yeah. And then I felt him going like up here. I was like, you fading this? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay. That's why I didn't have a problem with it until I saw myself in the bathroom, and I literally almost had an anxiety attack. So then I was just like, oh my gosh, this ain't my cut. And mind you, it hurted. It hurted. And then like a couple days later, I had like scars all up on my, I had one scar, but my brother had like several scars, and we was just like, we never going to that barber again. So, oh yeah, y'all probably already wanted this, but I'm gonna show y'all a reveal of what it looks like. Y'all can watch previous videos to see what it used to look like before, but I'm about to show y'all what it looks like now. So this is what the cut is looking like. I don't really feel for it like at all. I really consider going bald because I don't. It's not me. It's not my style. I don't like it at all. I'll get used to it, but it's just like I really don't like it at all. Comment down below if y'all like it better than what it was before. But thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, peace out.